Growing cabbages in Korea could only mean one thing: kimchi. I grew these cabbages from seed, and considering this is my first year ever growing vegetables, let alone growing them in Korea, I honestly couldn't believe they turned out this well. Okay, so we lift it back like this, don't we? And then wow. There we go. Look at this. Wow, that's so big. Oh my God, how are we gonna take these in the car? Ah, you can do that. Huge, so big. Oh, there we go. I'll cut the root off. Okay. This one. So we packed up the cabbages and took them to my in-laws, where we're going to start the 2-day process of making kimchi. The first day is all about prepping, and we start off by giving them a rough wash, but what we're really doing here is we are looking for any little critters still living in between the leaves, of which we found many, believe me. Then after that, it's the salting process. So we start off by cutting the cabbages in half and splitting them open, and honestly, if you are stressed out, go buy yourself a bunch of cabbages and just give this a go, because it is so cathartic. After that, we give them a thorough wash, and then we start to pack some salt around the core. Now, this is a really important part of the process. Overnight, what this is going to do is draw all of the moisture out of the leaves and make them much softer, getting them ready for day 2. One thing I quickly realised when making kimchi is there isn't one correct way to make it. If you ask 10 different families how they make kimchi, they're all going to give you different answers. So for example, in our family, for the sweetness, we're using Korean pear, apple, and this pear juice. But in other families, they might use plum syrup or even Sprite. I've heard that be used as well. So every single family's got its own recipe, and it's often influenced by the region of Korea in which they're from. There. Once the sauce was ready, it was time to cut every single leaf by hand, and it was funny how long it took me compared to my in-laws who were just flying through the cabbages. And honestly, it was hard work, so we were only using 12 cabbages altogether, and this actually gave me a little glimpse into one of Korea's most famous food traditions, Kimjang. We were making kimchi in the spring, but Kimjang actually takes place in late autumn, when whole families would gather together to make enough kimchi to last through the whole winter. Some households may use well over 100 cabbages, by the way, so what we did paled in comparison. Now, before refrigerators, the finished kimchi was stored in large earthenware jars called janggukdae. Their breathable clay created ideal conditions for fermentation, and they were often kept partially buried underground, where temperatures stayed cool and stable throughout the winter. Now today, many Korean households actually have a dedicated kimchi refrigerator instead. Just like my in-laws, they have 2 fridges, one for everyday food and then one just for kimchi. I've eaten kimchi countless times before, but making it from scratch with my in-laws, using cabbages I've grown from seed, gave me a whole new appreciation for the tradition behind it. I learned so much about Korean culture, and I have a feeling we'll be back again in the autumn because I thoroughly enjoyed it. But for now, all we have to do is let the kimchi ferment. Meanwhile, there is another vegetable about ready on the plot that can also be made into kimchi. All right, here we go. So these are the moo radish that are also known as daikon radish. I've been growing these since early spring, and they're definitely ready to come out now. They're half poking above the ground. I have no idea how hard they're gonna be to pull out the ground. Let me show you how they look at the minute. It's hard to see under all the leaves. So there you go, they're well above the ground now. I've been waiting for them to get a little bit wider, but it doesn't appear like they will. And I have seen people like harvesting them when they're like this. So I'm just gonna get them out now because I wanna free this ground up as well. And I'm worried that they're gonna go over because they're just basically completely out the ground now. All right, here it goes. Oh. Not too bad at all. Hang on, some jets flying overhead. Oh, another one. The timing. There's another one. Oh my God, this is the worst timing ever. 4 or 5 jets. Okay. All right. I think it's over unless one's lagging far behind. I can barely hear myself. Right, well, here you go. This is a moo radish. Is it also known as daikon? Japanese version, daikon. I think that's what we call it back in England as well. But moo here, it is just starting to split a little bit, so I think that means it was a good time to get this out. That's awesome. That's grown so well. Yeah, this one's a little bit of a stubby one, and that's fine. I think maybe there's not enough room for it to grow. It reminds me of the, what are they called? Man, what's it called on Harry Potter, those things that cry? Mandragora? Mandrake. The mandrake. Also known as, wow. I'm married to a real life Hermione.
Mandrake or mandragora?
Did you hear that? A real life Hermione. She loves it. Oh, that's a good one.
You pull it sharply out of the pot.
That one, not so much. Come on, that is definitely one of those mandrakes. If there are any basilisks in the area, don't worry about it. Get petrified, I've got the cure. Not a bad haul. And this one's definitely not suitable for the supermarkets, but other than that, most of them are pretty good. This one's got thighs and everything. I can almost hear it crying right now, shrieking. But there you go. There are so many bugs and insects on this thing. These were homes to a lot of insects. Massive caterpillar there as well. So, gonna get these cleaned up before we get them in the car. Otherwise the car will become the new habitat. We turn the radish into musengche, which is a fresh radish kimchi. It's very similar to the cabbage kimchi, however this one's eaten fresh and immediately rather than being left to ferment. So precisely a month after we finished making the kimchi, it's been fermenting. These leaves on the top, these actually stop any sort of oxidization from happening. So we won't actually eat these leaves, they're just to cover. And if we pull them back, you can see the kimchi underneath. Still currently fermenting. It is not ready yet, even though it's been a month. My mother-in-law just checked them out, and basically like this liquid around is still a little bit clear, and we're waiting for that to get a bit thicker. And she can just tell as well, just from looking at it, she's just said, no, 1 more month. So we're gonna have to wait another month before we can taste this and start using it for side dishes and for cooking. So meanwhile, we will carry on with the allotment. We've got summer crops in now, doing their thing. So I'll see you in that one. Hello, goodbye.